Hello, and welcome to another episode of Reviews in a Rabbit Onesie, the show in which I, Dan Leith, review things in a rabbit onesie. Reviews in a rabbit onesie, this theme tune is pretty shit. But yes, hello. On this episode, we're going to be reviewing another two movies and putting them head to head. And the theme of this week's movies is Dystopian Death Callers. What? Basically, two movies set in a dystopian future where people have to fight to the death. Which brings us into movie number one, 2000's Battle Royale. Good work, Japan. So the premise of this movie is it's a dystopian future. Apparently there was a recession and now the kids are all dickheads. I don't know, you see one stabbing a teacher in the leg for no reason near the start. But apparently to keep the troublesome youth in line, they came up with something called the Millennium Reform Education Act, or Battle Royale, named the film, in which one class is picked and then they all have to fight each other to the death. So yes, we follow a class of students as they go on a school trip. They get gassed. They wake up in a strange classroom on an island in the middle of nowhere. And their old teacher, who has quit because, he got stabbed in the leg, he's there. He's put them forward for this. He's not happy with them. He's a bit nuts. He's also played by Takeshi Kitano. That's right, of Takeshi's Castle fame. I guess that sadistic games that are really hard to win are just his thing. But anyway, they all wake up in this classroom and they find they have on these metal collars that'll explode if they try to take them off. They're shown this instructional video which is presented by this really over-the-top Japanese woman dressed in orange. Can't get enough of her. She's all like, oh, you're gonna have to kill some people. She's class. She explains to them the rules. Basically, each student gets to pick a backpack. In the backpack you have food, water, and you got a weapon. The weapons can range from being really good, a gun, a crossbow, hatchet, to being really shit, like a frying pan. The students are told they have 3 days to kill each other off until there's one person left standing, and if there's not one person left standing, then beep, 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 all the necks explode. It is such a great concept that it has been ripped off time and time again. It's been ripped off by the Hunger Games, most of the best-selling and most played multiplayer computer games that exist right now. Because it's fucking class. You've got such an array of characters in this film. The romantic leads, the protagonists, which are affectionately known as pot lid and binoculars. Those are the shit weapons they get. You've got a sporty girl that's constantly training that teaches a rapey young man a very firm lesson about consent. Knife to the groin! You've got Mitsuko, who's the class sociopath. Clearly my favourite. Sickle-wielding sexy monster. You've got three lads who are hackers who are trying to bring down the system of the game, help everyone get out alive. Great lads. And you've got two exchange students, one who has survived a previous game and is unfairly dragged back to do it again, and another fella who just signed up for fun. So he's a psychopath, but luckily a shit shot with an Uzi. I mean, this movie is exciting, intense. The chaos is balanced with flashbacks. So at one point you'll be watching someone accidentally shoot someone with a crossbow, and then it'll flash back to two lads strumming their guitars in their room talking about girls. It's quite gratuitous and it can be violent and it's fun and exciting, but it's also very romantic. There's a lot of beauty within this story as well. There's so many great moments in this film. One of my favourite scenes is in a lighthouse, which is occupied by a bunch of girls who are friends, and it's all about friendship, distrust. Those themes come in a lot. I won't tell you what happens, but it is a fucking riot. It's fucking beautiful chaos. Oh, and there's a scene where a girl hunts down Mitsuko because she suspects Mitsuko has killed her friend and realised that someone had spent the night where she was killed because she found a used tampon in the toilet. And she checked her friend's body to check that she wasn't on her period and deduced that Mitsuko must be, so then hunted her down. I mean, what the fuck? Hashtag period detective. You wouldn't see that in the Hunger Games. I guess things I didn't like about this movie, sometimes people get shot a lot and there's a lot of bloody shirts, but no bullet holes. Other times people get shot a lot, then don't die. Or they get back up for one last line or something. I don't know. It's very Japanese. Also, some things I think are just lost in translation. You've got Shigemura, the romantic loner, who spends the entire movie trying to hunt down this girl to tell her he loves her. When he finds her, his line is, "You're so cute." I mean, little lost in translation, I think. Also, the use of music in this movie is great. The soundtrack is incredible, and it's the best use of Bach's Orchestral Suite No. 3 ever. There, I said it. What I learned from this movie is that really trusting someone is a very hard thing to do. True story. And that a neck explosion will end a love triangle pretty quickly. Anyway, if you have not seen Battle Royale, watch Battle Royale. It's a great fucking film. If you don't like subtitles, learn to read. 4 out of 5 neck booms. Nice. And that brings us on to our second movie, 1987's The Running Man. Based off a novella written by Stephen King under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, because I think he wanted to publish more books. I don't know. Anyway, the premise of this movie is that it's a dystopian future. This time everyone's living in a totalitarian police state, and apparently they keep people in check by allowing them to watch this sadistic game show called The Running Man, title of the film, in which convicts have to fight for their lives, and if they win they get to go free. Anyway, this movie stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as Ben Richards, who's a military man, who at the start is piloting a helicopter and he's asked to gun down a whole bunch of innocent civilians who are doing a peaceful protest. He's like, no, those people are unarmed. I'm really sorry about that. That was awful. I won't do that again. I promise. But yeah, he refuses to gun down all the innocent people. All his military mates turn on him and he's chucked into jail. A couple of years later, he and some mates that he's made are breaking out of jail. And in jail they have, that's right, explosive neck collars. Nice. They're breaking out of jail and they're trying to shut down the security. One guy doesn't get the memo and just starts running for freedom. Run. He's like, don't, run. Boom. His whole head explodes like a watermelon. My favourite bit of the film. Anyway, Arnie and his mates break out and they go to see Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. I shit you not. And I think he's oddly playing a bizarre version of himself because he says to Arnie, you used to be one of them that burned all of my songs. Mick Fleetwood might have been a bit worried about the future. This movie's set in 2017. Maybe he was worried that people just weren't listening to Fleetwood Mac anymore. Don't worry, Mick. It's 2020 and I've still got rumours. Anyway, Arnie goes to visit his brother, but I think his brother's been thrown in jail or something. So he goes into the apartment to find this young woman, Amber, living there. She is like the embodiment of the 80s. She's watching workout videos and she plays the synth. Class. Anyway, Arnie kidnaps her and tries to go to Hawaii wearing the loudest fucking outfit I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes you need to stand out to blend in. Not sure what his logic is. Anyway, she kicks up a fuss at the airport. Arnie runs. The Running Man. Then they catch him with a big net, like he's a cartoon character. The guy that runs the Running Man. He blackmails Arnie into going on to the show because he's like, if you don't, I'll send your mates, and those lads aren't up for a fight. Whereas Arnie, you know. So yeah, the show itself is super 80s. There's lots of girls in spandex doing elaborate routines. I kind of wish the entire film was spliced with that. So Arnie is presented in front of the live studio audience wearing quite the outfit. Sponsored by Adidas or Adidas, which is correct. I don't know. Apparently the people who framed Arnie got a hold of the footage that was shot at the start of the film to re-edit it so it looked like he killed everyone. They're framing him. To add insult to injury, then they bring out Arnie's mates that he escaped jail with anyway. Rat bastard. The three of them have to survive ridiculous set pieces and they're chased by big gladiator types called stalkers, and the stalkers all kind of have different personalities. You have an ice guy, you've got a fire guy with a flamethrower, you've got a guy who loves chainsaws, who's wearing a leotard that's way too low for him, he's called Buzzsaw, and then you've got this fat electricity guy who's like wrapped in fairy lights and sings opera. His name is Dynamo. These stalkers then go out and try to hunt down the convicts / contestants until they're dead. It's kind of like Gladiators meets The Chase, but without Bradley Walsh and with a lot more killing. Needless to say, Arnie can hold his own. He's a very strong man, unfortunately not the strongest of actors in this movie particularly. Lots of cheesy lines, some of which are great, but I think it's possibly the most wooden I've ever seen him be. I mean, if you like chainsaws and rock and roll music and anticlimaxes, then, you know, this could be a good film for you. Once the girl Amber works out that Arnie is innocent, she goes snooping, gets caught, and she gets chucked onto the game show as well. They're trying to tarnish her reputation, and they announce she had sexual relations with 2, sometimes 3 men a year. What? Were they that British in 1987? Or did they think that 2017's Dystopia would be that British? I'm not sure. What the fuck? What I learned from this movie is that in the 80s they still believed we'd have workout videos in the future. I guess we have Joe Wicks. And also, if you're trying to frame someone for a crime, remove the original source material that proves that they're innocent. It's super 80s, it's super cheesy. It had everything I liked on paper. Fucking love the 80s, fucking love Dystopia, fucking love games, fucking love Arnie. sometimes. Best bit was the ending because the song at the end was fucking bitching. Other than that, it just wasn't that great. 2 out of 4 neck booms. Thank you for watching Reviews in a Rabbit Onesie. I've been Dan Leith. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, yada yada yada. If you want me to review anything in particular, put it in the comments. Anyway, take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay sane, and if you wake up with a necklace on, don't try to remove it by force. Finn.